Hello everyone, I am Andrew Can, and if I can, you can too. YouTube recently announced that they are considering switching the subscribe model from a current chronological order to a more personalized list order. I'm going to discuss that. You can see a link to everything I am talking about in the description of this live stream, or if you're watching the replay of this video down below. I want your comments and opinions throughout the stream, so if you're watching the replay, feel free to chime in as well. However, I think it's very interesting that YouTube are coming up with these changes, and I'm going to say what these changes are, and I'm going to show you what they are as well. However, before we get started, I want to tell you about the company I work for, TubeBuddy. You may have recognized the TubeBuddy beanie. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that you can use to grow and optimize your YouTube channel. If you want to get TubeBuddy, you can learn more by going to tubebuddy.com/can with a K if you're interested. So, YouTube has announced recently that they are experimenting with some content, so why don't we go ahead and show what I'm discussing here. As you can see, YouTube is currently testing some things in the sub feed, and if you're unaware, a lot of creators feel like the sub feed is one of the only things that is left that has not been touched by the algorithm to say. So, just to clarify, we are currently experimenting with how to show content in the subs feed. So the reason this all started was this person here asked, why aren't my videos in my subscription feed in chronological order anymore? YouTube replies, just to clarify, we are currently experimenting with how to show content in the sub feeds. We find that some viewers are able to more easily find the videos they want to watch when we order the subs feed in a more personalized order versus always showing the most recent videos first. So, okay, that's not a bad idea. However, a lot of people rely on their subs feed, and with the constant change of what YouTube's doing, people feel like it's not as easy as it once used to be. Used to be you just hit the subscribe button, you got notified when a person goes live. Now it's you hit the subscribe button and there's a bell notification icon. You smash the bell in order to get all notifications. You get notifications to your phone. And I actually don't hate this system. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of it, but I like the bell notification because when you hit it, you get sent notifications on your mobile device, and genuinely speaking, when I see that notification there, then I go over to my desktop and I usually watch because I usually am working from home as I am now. However, some people just genuinely watch from the mobile app the way it's meant to be. So I do think that having that option, I wasn't the biggest fan of it when it first came out. I do think that could have easily been rectified with just a settings thing, but I understand it. Now, I've seen a lot of people torn on the chronological versus personalized viewing experience. I think it's definitely here to make a stay. So 30-day review says, Andrew Can just here for a few minutes before I go record, but it seems like just looking at all the complaints that Facebook gets about their system that YouTube would know better and not even want to try their system. I couldn't agree more. I mean, we see it with Instagram. People didn't like the change there. We saw it on Twitter. People aren't a fan of the change there. But it leads to the wonder why the change in the first place. They're saying it's for more audience engagement. They're claiming it's that way. But the community disagrees. And that's actually a great jumping off point, 30-day reviews. And I actually want to transition once again over to another thread where YouTube replied. And this is by a user, MKBHD. Love his content. I watch it actually. So we can see Team YouTube actually took some time to reply here. MKBHD says, please don't. So I understand YouTube and others messing with the order or your feed to put what they think we want to see at the top. It's a business move, but it's a subscription box. Users choose to subscribe. They want to see it all. If they don't, they'll unsubscribe. That is all. Team YouTube actually took some time to respond to this, and I think it's interesting. As far as the bell goes, you should get all notifications all the time. If you hit the bell, not have options. So if you hit the bell, you do get all notifications on by default. However, if you really look at the options you get, just the subscribe doesn't have the bell ring. But when you ring the bell, you do get all notifications. So I understand the frustration there, but it's understanding that the system, the way it currently works, is that, in fact, I'll show you 30-day reviews. I don't think I have the bell on for you, so this will actually be a pretty good example. So sorry I didn't have the bell on for you, but now if you see right here, you'll get all notifications. But if I go, let's go over here to covering the garden beds, right? If I deselect and I unsubscribe, so then I hit subscribe, right? Subscription added. Then I hit the bell notification. I'll get everything pushed. But if I deselect it, I'll stop getting notified about every new video and I'll only get occasional updates. Now, sometimes there's an option dialog that pops up, and essentially all it means is when you just subscribe, the bell isn't rung, but you as a user still have the opportunity to go ahead and click on the bell to get all notifications. So if you subscribe, you get partial. If you hit the bell, you get all. Unselecting the bell still means you'll get occasional notifications. Unsubscribing means you get none at all. Want to subscribe? Sorry if you have everything turned on there. But yeah, I think the bell is set up so you can choose sometimes or all the time. At least that's what I've seen on other videos like FTP Rant. Absolutely. So you either will get some notifications, which is just the subscription, but if you hit this, you'll get all notifications, which is, as I said at the top of the stream, that means you'll get push notifications on your mobile device and even email notifications if you have that option set up on YouTube. Back to what YouTube says here, jumping in to clarify more. This is a very small experiment we're testing. We're testing a new and completely optional way to sort the subs feed with a small group of people. All videos are still in the feed and it's optional, so those in the experiment can still choose to sort by the most recent. We know that any potential changes to the sub feed are sensitive and important, and we don't take this lightly. This is why we experiment and gather feedback. Really do appreciate you sharing yours. So when we look here, we see that YouTube said that this is an experiment just for small channels, or not small channels, but it's for a small collection of channels, I should say. And when we really break it down, it leads you to wonder, why are they running this test? Why are they doing it this way? So if it's optional, then why do it in the first place? That's the greatest counterpoint. What I'm going to suggest may sound a little out there, but I want to get this to be understood. That on YouTube, it used to be simple. Hit the subscribe button, that was it. Then they add the bell, then you get all notifications, not occasional. YouTube genuinely cares about getting people on the platform. I think that the experiment leads people to feel uncomfortable. It makes the site feel unstable. 30-Day Review says, in my opinion, this experiment will lead to channels being able to buy their way into being in the top of those lists. I don't agree. I don't think that. I don't think you can buy your way to the top. I do think maybe you can definitely influence your way to trending, but I don't think any particular channel can buy their way to the top. I mean, I think if you look at the trending page, it's a great example of what YouTube curates there. And I think that's what people truly fear. I fear that they feel their subscription feed, which a lot of people feel like is that one true place on YouTube where I have some control and I have some choice, will be turned more to the trending feed, which is, by all accounts, you could argue it's just a late night show, music videos. It's very rarely, at least when I look at it, outside creators or smaller creators. Like, yes, they have the creator on the rise, but I've talked to many people who've been on that program and they don't feel they've gotten anything of it. He says, as of right now, no, but like YouTube by ads, that's essentially what it does. I can't disagree. My main thing is, I think if you're really watching the big picture, I think one thing to keep in mind is YouTube is a business. I mean, Roberto Blake's touched on it. I've seen a lot of videos on this subject. Hey Cricket, hey Doug, good to see you here. We're talking about the YouTube changes, and I want your opinions, and of course, if you're watching the replay, please let me know your opinions as well. And I've been cutting back to kind of official statements. Everything I've mentioned in this live stream, once again, is in the video's description. So I think the problem is, and this is going to go into a little, I want you guys to understand where as a business, I see YouTube going. YouTube's biggest competition right now in this space, and you can agree or disagree, is Twitch, aka Amazon, and honestly, you could argue Patreon to a point. Think about all of the changes. People are focused on this one little change, but big change comes with small change over time. Think really what YouTube has done. I want you to really think about it. YouTube has released sponsorships for channels with 100,000 subscribers or more. At first, it was a beta to gaming channels, but now more larger channels are going to have the sponsorship button. Well, that's a lot like Twitch, one of their biggest competitors. I want you to think about something else. Well, that sponsorship is $4.99, exactly like Twitch subscription. YouTube just made changes to YouTube Premium. Well, I think it wouldn't be too much of a jump to make, if I have YouTube Premium, I get a free sponsorship to some of the channels I like. Hear me out. Amazon does this with Twitch Prime. So what I see is happening personally, it wouldn't be out of my realm. And of course, this is all speculation. What I am saying may or may not happen, but it wouldn't be too far of a leap. I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube was copying and taking all these features, because we see it all the time. Snapchat comes up with something and Instagram takes it immediately. TubeBuddy comes up with things, other companies see what we're doing, and it all comes into play. So I wouldn't find it too far out of the realm that they're just trying to compete with Patreon and they're trying to compete with Twitch. Think about it. YouTube Community tab is a lot like the Patreon interface, and it wouldn't be too hard for them to make it where sponsors only could see some messages. I'm going to build a platform called Trigger, says Cricket. Couldn't agree more. 30-Day Review says, I'm against this all I know. But I don't think what I suggest is too far out of the realm of possibility. And I genuinely want to hear what you are thinking out there, either in the replay or live. I think it makes a lot of sense. As a business move, if I keep people here, well, then they don't have to go to Twitch, because we have subscriptions too. But think about it. What's the difference between sponsor and subscribe? Subscribe, you're not paying. Well, Twitch has the follow option, but they also have the subscription option. What will it take for YouTube to say subscribe is now the follow and sponsor is the subscription, equivalent to Twitch? Not much. And that's the real thing I'm worried about. Of course, this is all speculation, but if you look at what's happening, it could possibly come to play. And I could just be completely wrong, but it's a bigger conversation to one thing that's being cherry-picked here. If we really want to get to the root of the issue, we have to understand, and this is my ultimate stance on this, that YouTube is a platform, YouTube is a business, and they care more about making money for their content, which they should. They invested a lot in YouTube Premium, YouTube Originals, and the platform in general. However, having your own website, email list, all of these things allow you, the content creator, having your own Patreon, having diversity in what you're doing, allows you as a creator to genuinely have the ability to share what you are doing with all of the people who watch you. Because here's the thing, I hear all the time, well, I don't want to make a website, or I don't want to do this. But if you have a Twitter, if you have a Facebook, then you're already diversifying your content. You might as well have one place that you can control where everything is. I'm against the knee-jerk drama surrounding it all. Couldn't agree more, Doug Houston. What you know is I'm not necessarily trying to fight it. I'm just trying to give more of an explanation on it. That's where I'm coming from. Cricket says they should test stuff, but they need better PR to stop alienating users and creators and stop the chaos. Unless this is their PR, woohoo, view/drama. So in the PR business, one thing I remember learning from another company I work for, and I used to think was a terrible philosophy, but it works, is there is no bad PR. PR is still PR. And unfortunately, a lot of companies operate by that. I don't think YouTube likes it, but I do think Roberto Blake, actually, in this Twitter thread, of course, this thread is linked. He says it here, and he says he doesn't feel like this is a good move for them to be doing because they just won back advertisers' trust, and now they're shaking up YouTube creators' trust. It's not the best move. 30-Day Review says it still gives us the option to put the higher paying videos on the top of the line and end in Facebook, where I hardly see what I actually want to, as long as they're trending with subs. People are feeling less than positive is a PR fail as I see it, but people are still talking about it. So again, I agree with you, but the thing is public relations just is that. It's a neutral term. It never said good PR. So that's the hard part. Also easy to put ads, videos at the top, and not smaller creators. Again, life is not fair. People will pay to put ads wherever they want. End of the day, if you have a business and it can afford ads, of course you're going to run ads. We just see it. That's life. I do think that smaller creators get the short end of the stick, but that's kind of always how it is. The new people always are going to have a harder time. That's life, though. I wish YouTube did more for the smaller creators, but at the same time, they do a lot. But I feel there's so much bad, we never get to appreciate the good. For example, I do think ultimately YouTube has done a lot right. I think the fact that we have this opportunity to stream, to have this platform, to do all of this is incredible. However, YouTube, as we said, doesn't have the best PR. I will say, this right here isn't terrible. It's not great, but at least it's better than, I remember there was an instance where someone tweeted YouTube and they were like, just unfollow us. That was a PR nightmare. YouTube, you're not our friend. You're our boss. You are the place we upload content. That was a bad example of PR. But ultimately, I think it's interesting to think and see all the different things. I mean, videos that have ads, YouTube can put those at the front of the list and bury the smaller ones. This change only makes things go really bad really quick. Here's the thing. If you have ads anyway, they're going to be served in front of videos as it is. I think you need to understand how YouTube runs ads a little more before we can make those kind of complaints. If you've never bought ads, I actually encourage you just to you don't have to go through with it, but really just see what they offer to understand that people buy ads all the time. You may just not realize it. And I think that, yeah, if someone's paying me for a service, I'm going to deliver on that. So yes, if someone pays YouTube $50 to put their videos up front, YouTube's obligated by just that. However, YouTube videos who have ads, you can usually tell because there's not a lot of community discussion. There's not a lot of engagement. That's usually how you can tell. And those videos past the ads, yes, they have views, but the watch time is so low, you'd be very surprised. 30-day reviews. And I've seen enough channels who bought ads, put a lot of money in ads, and they had absolutely no return. And it's because the ad wasn't effective. People don't understand how ads work on the platform, and it causes them to do bad. Now, if you look at like all the late night shows and all these things, they unfortunately have teams that understand this, and YouTube's revealed these things. So it's things to think about. Cricket Wilson said, my PR response would have been, wait, what? Becky will know about this. Seems kind of crazy for sure. Hang in there. Be back soon. Love YouTube. 30 days reviews. Right, but my video could be in front of other people's videos just because of AdSense ad playing in front. Sorry, I may not be clear here. Again, it's their service. They offer it. You don't have to like it, but you don't have to upload on YouTube. Again, their house, their rules. My best bet and your best bet is there's a reason there's a skip ad. And if you really could see where your views are coming from, and that's what's more important. I think people are looking at the wrong part of this entire debate. I think they're looking at one small factor of the huge move YouTube is making. And that's just kind of where I feel on it. Hello, Tiffany. Good to see you. I know you. If you're unaware, actually, Tiffany Von Gravely, a good friend of mine, had quite the viral tweet. Let me see if I can find it. I actually went to them DMs. But here we are. Seriously, Facebook and Instagram, like, look at this engagement. So this was just my friend Tiffany here. Go ahead and follow her. I will definitely make sure I'll put this in the chat so you guys can see. But this is a great response. This is a well thought out, calculated. Tiffany, maybe you should do some PR for YouTube. But let's take a look at it. So she says, no, we don't want this. Stop doing this. Leave the sub boxes alone. We subscribe to people we actually want to watch. And this is pretty popular sentiment on the community side. And we want to watch everything they do when it comes out, not when you decide it's convenient for us to see it. And then she says, seriously, Facebook and Instagram took away Chronological Order, and it hurt not only their content creator, but the user base too, because we couldn't keep up with the people we were choosing to follow. Please be better than this, YouTube, please. And if you look, the engagement is real. Like, you can have an opinion every day of the week. But what Tiffany said here, it rallied behind people. And ultimately, it does not matter how much money you throw at something. If your content is good, it will stand out. And most of the time, and 30 days reviews, you have good content. I see people so afraid of competing and that they will lose, they rather complain than compete. And that's the worst thing you can do. I think another great example is you need to really consider, what am I on YouTube for? Are you trying to be number one? Are you trying to compete, or are you trying to build an audience who genuinely engages and loves your stuff? And that goes to everyone. I've struggled with this. Sorry, not rally as upset about it as it might appear here in chat. LOL, just annoying. And what her Twitter said is pretty much what I said as well, just with don't be a Facebook. Haha. Hello, Creator Fundamentals. Really good to see you in here as well. Dan, I can't wait to work with you on that video. Will be a lot of fun. Everyone, follow Creator Fundamentals. Has a lot of great content. Was great meeting you at Vid Summit. Need to hang out with you again. Can't wait to see you. Do have your Tube Buddy hat, and I did tell you about these Tube Buddy beanies. So yes, we are working on merch. Know you can't wait to give you that. Will be a lot of fun. Now, I want to just end this off here. If YouTube does what I hope they don't, but I could see happening, I definitely see YouTube is trying to compete. You can see it with their sponsorship push. You can see it with their community push. You can see it with the subscription push. At this point, I see YouTube easily pivoting from their current model to make subscribe the Twitch equivalent to follow and sponsor the Twitch equivalent to subscription. I hope they don't do that, but let me know. Genuinely, if you're in the chat, could you see that happening? I think it makes sense. They're a huge competitor, and YouTube Premium could easily act as I said earlier, a way to, if I have YouTube Premium, I could sponsor a channel without having to pay that. And it would be exactly what Amazon has done with Twitch Prime. And again, we see this all the time in the industry, and I don't think it'd be too far out of left field. That being said, I want to open up the floor to all of you. We're going to do a little bit of reading the comments. Then we're going to jump right into channel reviews, because today I'm going to be reviewing channels based on their branding, but I want to take a look at their most recent videos that are, or not most recent, but a video that's a month or so old, to look at their branding strategy within tags, title, description, and thumbnail. And that will be what we are delving into. If you're watching this on the replay, I will only do channel reviews when I am live. Please do not ask for them in the replay, mostly because I'm not going to be able to have the time. But if I'm live, I'm giving you my time. I'm going to take and give you an honest opinion on channels based on my background working with TubeBuddy, building many successful channels, and what I've learned and seen. So, Creator Fundamentals, hello there, sir. Hope your day is going well, says 30 Days Reviews. Looking forward to Vid Summit this year, says Creator Fundamentals. Could not agree more. Whatever YouTube makes you think of is about to happen, plan for the exact opposite. Couldn't agree more. I mean, YouTube's also the platform that's very out of left field. You really never know what you're getting with it. So I think what I proposed from a business aspect side makes sense. I could definitely see it happening. We'll have to log on here with my new channel next time. Perfect. Also, if you want a channel review, please let me know in the chat by putting hashtag can be reviewed. So that's can with a K. I'll do it first. Can be reviewed. Well, there we go. That way I know you're looking for it. And otherwise, we'll just keep the discussion going on these changes. Again, this has just pushed me to build a website. It's pushed me to focus on other platforms, and it's pushed me to really diversify what I'm doing. But hey, every time they veer over the center line, it gives me content to make, says Creator Fundamentals. Absolutely. Brian mentioned it earlier in a video he did. Again, links to everything I'm talking about are in the video description. If you're curious, Brian G. Johnson said that it's a drama loop, and I couldn't agree more. Every time YouTube makes a change, it's newsworthy. I mean, YouTube is a real thing. YouTube brings in massive numbers. YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, all these things that people said will never be real businesses are real businesses. And it's not an if, it is a now, and it is what will they do to be larger. Cricket says, someone changed their channel name to YouTube and go comment on all the freak out videos, but please chill. Actually, that'd be a fantastic troll. But you see, that is interesting, because that goes into the verification tick, which if you've been on my channel, you'll know I will have it. Made a video on it, card on screen, got to keep forward. So, it appears that no one is really interested in channel reviews today. Maybe I'm going crazy, but if that is the case, then I think what I said here still makes a lot of sense. And I think then it brings us to a point of, if I have a question for everyone. Do you have another source of revenue outside of YouTube? Do you have another way to get your content out there without making sure it will not fall down? That's my question to you watching. Creator Fundamentals asks, review mine. We're all humming along. And I see two people asking for this, so I'll go ahead and get both of these open. So let us go ahead. I will first pull up Dan from Creator Fundamentals. All right. So, I already have you, Alejandro. You are in the queue. Actually, this works. 30-day reviews here. No content yet, but thought on header. Going to take a new pic of me holding tools. We'll go ahead and do that after we take a look at Dan here. So this is Dan from Creator Fundamentals. If you cannot tell, I'm subscribed to this channel. Highly recommend it. So, Dan, I'm going to take a look at your imaging. I'm going to take a look at what you're doing. Dan has a very clear strategy. Dan has blown up, and Dan did something very smart. He saw a tentpole event and wrote it out. It was when YouTube changed from having 10,000 views to having 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. Dan rode that wave to a very successful margin. Dan is a great channel with great quality. So Dan has how to reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, really kind of feeding into the audience that he was built on, and that's smart. A lot of creators don't make that understanding. So if I am to take a look at Dan, the first thing I would say is I want more Dan up here. I want to know, why is it called Creator Fundamentals? I know deliver your value, and I see subscribe for YouTube tips and tech, but I see you're actively uploading. What is your schedule? That'd be something cool to have. I'm really curious because, yeah, I think it'd be awesome to know. And I'm subscribed, but it's kind of inconsistent if you look. Like, I see 3 weeks, 2 weeks, then there was a little bit of a dry spell here. Are you just uploading whenever you want? And even if that is the case, then I guess that's what it tells me. But I don't know. I'd like to see a little bit more consistency from you, Dan, mostly because I do actually watch. So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing is you can see that you're doing well on playlist. I would say, just like YouTube videos, you should definitely be focusing on the first 200 characters here. So I see you have how to get 1,000 subscribers in 4,000 hours. YouTube's new partnership program requires 1,000 subscribers in 4,000 hours. This is perfect. This is doing everything I mentioned. So what I mean is that the first 200 characters in a description call back to whatever the title is. So how to get 1,000 subscribers in 4,000 hours. We see it here immediately. So everything Dan is doing is pretty much spot on to what you need to do to grow. And if you actually look at his channel trajectory, it's pretty much showing and following everything he's doing. His thumbnails are pretty good. You see him in the thumbnail. There's some slight variation. I think Nick would argue maybe you should do more YouTube face. And I also see from Cricket, Dan is pro at driving traffic to his mailing list and Patreon. Of course, if you want to support Dan on Patreon, you can do so. I will link this in the chat. There is Dan's Patreon. So overall, Dan, you do a lot right. But let's go ahead and take a look at one of your videos. 5 tips to make better videos, period. So, Dan, first thing I would say is that the first 200 characters matter the most here. And this right here, this space, is unutilized potential. The truth is, you should be optimizing your playlist more so for YouTube than you should. Like, obviously, yes, you should have it written out in a way where people can obviously tell what it's described, but there's a few things you're missing out on. For example, you can tell people that you have other videos and maybe a playlist for this by pinning a comment. So I definitely recommend, you pin your comment. But then I want to show you what I think you could definitely just improve by making sure you're using those first 200 characters, because that's what YouTube uses to index from your description. So if we go ahead here and 5 tips to make better YouTube videos, there you are, right? And I see that you're doing great here. But the thing is, in this video, I share 5 tips I have personally implement on this channel, which have, so actually they changed it. So good. So you're pretty much doing great here. You have great authority. You have your ranked number. But here's the thing. I think this actually might be biased on my viewing history. So before I make a definitive call, I want to make sure I'm not crazy. So yeah, you are ranking number 2, but take a look at that. Look at the difference. And this is something I always tell people. I have not changed what this is, but for my personalized result versus what is actually being shown when you don't log in, it's incredible, because YouTube is always trying to serve you content. So I think this is a great example of that. In an incognito window, there's only 4.9 million results, but when it's based on my viewing history, there's 14.1 million results. Just an example of how YouTube does it. But if you notice, this video, it's very good. It says 5 tips to edit videos faster, but 5 tips to make better videos, right? That's what we're on. This is the thumb. Notice how it's 5 tips to make better videos, and then we see 5 tips to edit videos faster. This is a great way that stands out, because all these other ones, if you look, it's how to make better videos. Like, they're not bad, but you don't see. You actually rank above Nick Nimmin here, but he's not targeting this phrase. You stand out in a really good way, and you're doing very well. Is editing backward on tips, on that tips list? I'm not sure what you mean by that, doing projects, but continuing to move forward, you're doing very well there. I can see that you're ranking just from here, but again, make sure that you're pinning comments. But video production tips, I would focus more on the 5 here. So you have video production tips. When you actually focus on 5 tips to make better videos and make better videos faster, which is really what you titled and you described this as, you do really well. So how to improve your video editing skills really isn't in your title, but 5 tips for video editing or 5 tips for faster video editing might do a little bit better than just tips for video editing and tips for video editors and tips for video recording and tips for editing beginners. So if you did 5 tips, like again, if you were to tag, try 5 tips for beginner editors. Again, these are just little things. So essentially what I see here is that your title and that your description are really following through together. But when I take a look at your tags, they're not necessarily following the same trajectory tail. Really here what you're focusing on is these 5 tips. But the only time that you do follow on these 5 tips, you rank. And when you stray from those 5, the idea of 5 tips, you're not ranking. And I can see it here for tips for video editing, tips for video editors. So essentially just commit to what you were talking about in your title or description, because these two are honing back together. And YouTube recently said that tags don't matter as an individual aspect as much as they matter as total for a whole. There was a whole controversy on that, and what they essentially meant is that this alone won't do you well, but all 3 together will help you stand out. And again, you're already ranking pretty high for this. This is past the new period, so ranking as high as you are on this is fantastic. So essentially, the best way you can think about it is really focus on the 5 tips and what you called your title and description here, because the only times that you pay honor to it are the times you're ranking. And anytime you kind of stray from the 5 tips of editing, you're not ranking. We're not seeing the same level of performance, which is a shame, because what I can tell is that this is a good video because YouTube has definitely put it high past what it is, and it's serving the purpose people want. I see from doing projects, definitely more YouTube face is editing backwards on that tips list. Edit the video backwards as your last video. Take is always or usually the best, so you can skip and delete all the first ones. I'm still not understanding what you mean doing projects, so I apologize on that. But Dan, you have such a great channel. The only thing I could really say, and this is, I'm nitpicking, as Nick has let me say on this channel, but honestly, that's really the only thing I see that it could be a little more refined. You honestly are doing so well as it is. It just kind of comes to make sure that you're honing back to everything. This is an easy F minus, because where am I in your, I mean, I can't recommend this channel, Dan. I'm not on it. How am I? No, I'm joking. You have an A. I think that was very clear. But of course, chat, what do you think of the channel creator fundamentals? I'm curious what you have to say. Again, Dan, just make sure that you're honing in on those, on making sure that your title, tag, and descriptions are all working together and not as 3 separate entities. When you do follow through, you rank and you do well. Just make sure that you're following through all the way. So our next channel we're going to be taking a look at is Alejandro's Adventures. I'm going to pull that up now. So the first thing is, I don't understand anything about your channel from this banner. So branding wise, it's a little confusing. I see a bridge, but that doesn't necessarily tell me anything on the adventure side. I would recommend actually showing photos of you on adventure, actually showing you do things, because if this is your adventures, I would not get that from this. So that's something to keep in mind. I would then say, let me know your schedule, let me know what you're about, because I don't get any of that from your branding up here. So then I see you're telling people you have a Facebook, but the problem I have with this is that, let's say I do click off and go on Facebook and forget YouTube. That's not necessarily helping your channel at this stage. Because I don't see much here, there's really not much I can say. I see visiting Roswell, I see traveling to Roswell, but I would say check your data to your click-through rate, because I like this thumbnail, but I don't get what this has to do with adventure. I like hiking Telegraph Pass near, and I can see that you have some decent views, especially for your channel size. That's great, because these are really actually pretty searchable titles. So let's actually take a look at hiking Telegraph Pass near Yuma, Arizona, right? Telegraph Pass, Yuma, Arizona. Yeah, you're ranking for this, and hiking Telegraph Pass. So again, this is an example of you have described and titled your video about the hiking the Telegraph Pass. And when you actually honor that in your tags, you rank for it. So ultimately, I would say focus more on what you actually title your video and what it's truly about. And because a lot of people, and I am just as guilty as this, there is no one who is perfect on this. Every expert makes this mistake. Everyone. They'll title it one thing, but then they forget, is that really what this video is about? And sometimes it's not, and they change it, and then it does great. It's trial and error. So what I would say is make sure that what you are titling your video, you describe your video as that, and you make sure your tags are owning back to your title and your video description. Back to your channel page. Hello, Selena Plays. Good to see you. Hello, Clashing by Havoc, and hello, needs more subs. Who doesn't, am I right? So, as we go back here at Alejandro's Adventures, I see, when I'm taking a look here again, I have no branding. I'm assuming this is you, based on, you know, your photo here is the best part. I see a beach, I see you, great. But other than that, there's nothing here that easily lets me identify this as your content. Which is sad, because your thumbnails aren't bad at all. These look great. But if I was a user, I may click on one of these, but I'd have no idea of what you're doing. I also see that you were in Roswell, New Mexico here. I'd recommend, you know, you make a playlist about your time there. You may already have one, but it's not on your channel page. And no, also, you like this. So, oh man, you're gassing me up. You're making me feel good. Thank you for liking it. I genuinely do appreciate that. But again, I want to see some clearer branding. I think you look great. Let me see you. I think this is you, but again, I can't easily tell. And if I don't know the channel that well, let's say this is the first video I find of you, right? And I'm like, oh man, I'm going to subscribe because I love this Fortnite video. And then all I see are adventure videos like this. Well, I subscribed for this Fortnite video, so this is a great example of you might split your audience with this. So I would say focus on your adventuring aspect. Not saying that the Fortnite video did bad. Obviously, some people watched it. But focus on really what you want me as a viewer to know what you're about. You're called Alejandro's Adventures, so that's what I'm to believe you're about. Again, I would say genuinely you have a really good channel. I like what I'm seeing here. Just update your banner. Update your branding so I can easily tell, and let me know when you upload. I'm going to give you a C+ because you do have some you have some fans. Like, you're averaging 100 views. That's fantastic. That means you're getting about half of the people that are subscribed to you. So overall, I think a C+ is a very fair grade. And let me know in the comments, what do you give this channel? I'm very curious. If you are interested in getting a channel review, please let me know by typing in #CanBeReviewed. It lets me know, and that's can with a K, that you're interested in a channel review. I'm going to pull up the next one, but I am curious to see what other people think about Alejandro's Adventures. Really, like I said, I like what I'm seeing, just not a lot. Now, I believe this is obviously 30 Days Reviews, doing a new one, calling it Doing Projects. Doing projects, building, fixing, growing, uploading when time allows. So, not bad at all. First thing I notice is when I look here, you're very well optimized for mobile. It's kind of clear with the difference here. I always tell people, if you're optimized for mobile, put something here for us on desktop. What is that cool red light behind you? Well, that's actually a studio light I have. So basically, I am a filmmaker and I have a lot of different lights. That's a continuous studio light. It is an ICANN. I just realized I punned there, but it's an ICANN 650 watt. So yeah. I really do like it. It lets me see you. It lets me know doing projects. The only thing is like, if I zoom out of this is kind of difficult to read the black on the wood here. So maybe find a font that I like this. I like kind of like the stencil design, but I don't necessarily know if this is the easiest to read. And of course, the comments may disagree. I know you're just looking on it. I do like seeing you. I like this. I like this a lot. I would say, since you're doing projects, maybe you can post some tools or something here. This is where your socials will go. So maybe you can, like, I think something cool would be, since you're doing projects, right, is maybe you feature some of the projects when you have some content right here and here, so I can see a little more, and you can do a nice fade into these, or even, you know, maybe you make this behind you like a tool like kit wall, like you have all your tools and outlines. I'll be doing another picture of me holding tools and such. Perfect. Then I think that'd be great. Doug Houston says probably just when it gets smaller, which is very fair. But you got to remember, people are going to be watching this on mobile, right? So that's the ultimate test of a channel banner. And overall, I like the look of it. Not too bad. Very clear. Makes a lot of sense. So I like it. Just focused. I would say I'm worried about the text, but of course, Doug says probably just when it gets smaller. It's a fair point. I would say that I don't think it's bad. I just think it's a little hard to read. The uploading line is on the tangent with the wood grain. If you skew it, it should show up better. Very fair point. Tiffany is an animator, so Tiffany Von Gravely is definitely giving you some good advice. And I see some other people asking to be reviewed. So, I see Clashing Havoc who says, "What's up? I saw that you asked for a review, but then you retracted the message. Not sure if you still want it, but I do think you have a decent channel here, at least a very bare branding for it here doing projects. The only thing I don't necessarily get is the thought bubble. Maybe that's placeholder. It could go into what you were talking. Okay, I'll try to screw that. Thanks. Makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense. So overall, I like it. We're going to look at needs more subs, finding quality small channels for you. So I'm assuming that you are a person that highlights small channels. Makes sense. Implying that this channel needs more subs. In fact, I always get that in my comment section. Let me know if you're watching live or in the replay. Do you ever get that, oh my god, I love this channel, you deserve or you need more subs? Always curious. But if I were to take a guess, it seems like a small channel review. That's when, like, a small channel like showcase or review kind of show. Needs more subs says yes. Finding quality small channel YouTube channels for you. Perfect. You're giving me the value proposition. I like how I can see some YouTube channels within the banner. Needs more subs. Only thing I would say is let me know when you upload. Otherwise, it's a little difficult to kind of understand what your schedule is. It might be daily, but if I don't know, and it doesn't appear to be, well, it seems maybe it's almost daily. I think it's a cool idea. Definitely agree. I see I had a dream and we're all in it. And I see 90% of this video is quality small YouTube channels that have been featured by Need More Subs. 10% is random other things. So here's the thing. I see your origin story, which makes sense. But my problem is I'm not sure how searchable these titles are. Not saying they're bad, but are they searchable? So that's my main thing. I'm not able to commit to a schedule. I just totally cannot. That's fine. Then just let me know. Just let me know something. Obviously I would say finding quality small YouTube channels for you, uploading when I find the best YouTube. Like, again, just let me know something. But I totally get it. Not everyone can commit to a schedule. You look at my upload schedule. I mean, I'm a perfect example of this. But I do think it's fine. You let me know what you're about, then if that's your truth, then perfect. But if you get successful, maybe consider that. Or to a point where you feel you can commit to a schedule. Because you are a small YouTube channel. I really like what you're doing. So we're going to take a go back at it. Again, I like how you have closed captioning. Closed captioning is great. It can make sure that your videos get an extra boost because whatever you say in the videos can be said here. Unsubscribed YouTube channels, reviews 21 to 30. So again, my thing is that these aren't necessarily searchable titles. Lots going on in the thumbs, going to be hard on mobile. I agree with 30-day reviews on that. It's a little busy, and I like your logo, which is the N with the play button. I think it looks good, but there's a lot going on. I also am not, is this, like, I see this kind of captain looking here. Captain fellow or Baron looking fellow here. Is this your branding? Because I think that looks fantastic, and that's easily recognizable. But otherwise, it seems like I'm a little confused on what you're trying to focus as your branding. And since this video is a week old and I know the subject matter, I see a little bit of your video here. I'm assuming you. I would definitely recommend getting TubeBuddy. You can do so in the link in the description so you can kind of follow some of these things. Like, for example, you should definitely be adding end cards. You should definitely be adding info cards. I don't know why high-res thumbnail is showing up, but it may not classify as what YouTube does, so that could be why. Another thing is you call this is the way America makes me feel reaction. So I would say this is America the way it makes me feel, or something like that, because this title, I'm sure you're doing number 2 for it. Oh, never mind. This is the way America makes me feel. That's fantastic. You're doing very well on it. So I see you here. So my thing is, if you're ranking number 2 in a search term that has 60 million different videos, right? I would, this has, but here's the thing, it doesn't have that much search volume, but there's a lot of competition. So yes, there's a lot of videos on it, but it's not necessarily showing that in views. Again, 60 million different views. Or 60 million different pieces of content. I think it's the same. Cricket says same boat, so I'm looking to commit to a regular live stream. I feel like people need more hanging out with me. Definitely agree, Cricket. Please let me know when you have a more consistent schedule. Would love to hang out. But yeah, you're doing well here. And again, I'm seeing a similar theme, is that when you, this is America the way it makes me feel reaction. So this is the way, like, I would definitely always put your title in your video description. That's the easiest thing I can recommend. So this is the way America makes me feel reaction video by Captain Needy, which is, I'm sure, the video you're showcasing. But here's the problem. I see DJ Cumberbund, and I'm not sure the relevancy here, but this is definitely relevant to this. So again, another thing is you get 500 characters in your tags, and you're not using all of them. It was an experiment to see if I can get attached to that video that's number 1 for that term. Definitely makes sense. 30-day review says, okay, got to head out to record. Sorry, thanks for all the info and comments on YouTube stuff. Of course, 30-day reviews. Thank you so much for coming by again. Bob THP says, I'm angry about YouTube charging $2 more for YouTube Premium just because of YouTube Music. Definitely agree, Bob THP, as a YouTube Red subscriber, as you can kind of clearly see. I'm not a fan of the change. I kind of wish they would have just, kept it as it is. We already got YouTube Music, but it's their house, their rules, unfortunately. But yes, so needs more subs. The ultimate thing I can say is I like that this is an experiment to see if you can get attached to that video that is number 1 for the term. Well, you're ranking really high. You get 500 chances here. You get 500 characters. Make sure that you're doing your best to stand out here. Bob THB, hey Andrew, do you want to hang out on Discord? I'm not necessarily sure what you mean by that, but essentially, I think you should be focusing on making sure your description accurately describes this, which it does, but then make sure that you're using all 500 characters that you get in tags. You can use tools such as TubeBuddy, which is definitely a tool I recommend. I work for TubeBuddy in full disclosure, but it can really help you come up with some good ideas. And again, when you stay true to what this video is about, you do very well. So overall, needs more subs. If I were to give you a channel grade, I would probably give you, I'm going to give you a C+ as well. I really like the idea, but your tagging, I'm not seeing all the tags that you can utilize. For example, you should be using all 500 characters. I think it looks really good. I now, this not what you're talking about, have been having, what? I'm not sure what you mean, Janelle's mom show. A little confused on that one. So C+ is what I'll give you. Not bad. Definitely could see room for improvement. I love the needs more subs channel name. Makes a lot of sense. Finding quality content on YouTube. It's perfect. Overall, really cool channel. And I like seeing channels like that. But keep in mind that the way you make those videos searchable is by showing people what they don't know they need. That's kind of the whole idea of your channel. I love that. I think it's very creative. I think it's very needed. And the only thing I would say is maybe in your banner, kind of describe what you think a small YouTube channel is, because I've heard people with 1 million subscribers call a person with 500,000 subscribers a small YouTube channel, and I'm like, huh? So I think just a little bit of clarification. And Selena Play says, check out a channel called The Creator Critic. You might get some ideas for your channel. What are the top YouTube events in Washington or Oregon? Bob THP, you can actually go to YouTube's own website, and I'll do this for everyone if you ever want to know. So YouTube, creator events near me, YouTube. YouTube has events, YouTube creators here, where you can type in where you are, what kind of channel size you are, so you can find events near you. I will link this in the chat, and so you can see if there are any near you with fellow YouTubers. Always, always very useful. Again, if anyone else wants a channel review, let me know using the hashtag #CanBeReviewed. What I've kind of picked up on, and this gives me a place to look at, is that a lot of people, they make sure that they have a good title and they have a good description, but they're not sure what to do with the tags, and it's to focus on what those titles and descriptions are, to keep doing what they're saying. So, Janelle's Mom Show. Make a video about Facebook. All money they charge to promote your videos, and you end paying lots of money. So I don't know if that necessarily fits this channel, but I know that Owen Video, a channel I've worked with many times on TubeBuddy, has a lot of videos about Facebook, the algorithm, things like that. So I definitely would recommend checking him out. I don't know if that necessarily fits the film and like YouTube aspect of my channel, but I do appreciate the idea. Janelle's Mom Show. So Bob THP, I still am a little confused about hanging out on Discord. So yes. So I do know that Facebook, and I've seen this from a lot of my friends who are creators over there, you basically pay to win, unfortunately. How do I feel about the sponsor button? I think it's a complete copy of Twitch's. I talk about all of this in the beginning, but just to kind of recap, I think what YouTube's essentially doing is trying to get rid of Twitch and Patreon as competitors, and this is just an unanswered claim, but we see small changes that would definitely make sense. YouTube Red or YouTube Premium could easily be seen as a way to be kind of like Amazon Prime, where you get one free sponsor, and then the subscribe button could then become the Twitch equivalent to follow. I just think of what we're seeing is a lot of changes to the platform that are based on reaction instead of new innovation. And it scares me because YouTube has always been a great innovator, but what happens when a company stagnates? Pretty much is mine. Hello, Bahan Treasure. Happy to see you. But I don't see anyone else asking for channel reviews, and if that is it for everyone, that's my thoughts, that's my opinions. It has been a fantastic day. Last call for channel reviews. If you are interested in getting a channel review, please let me know. I am curious. Bob THP says I have a Discord service and want to invite you to it to clarify. Well, I am on Discord, so I do not know how you would do that. You can, I guess, message me on YouTube. And Need More Subs says, thank you so much. Thank you for letting me take a look at your channel. Again, love the concept. Just kind of let me know in that banner what you classify as a small channel. Got one final one from Behind Treasure. Good to see you back. Go ahead. And I do recognize you from, what I mean by see you back is I'm pretty sure I've seen your channel before and other live stream reviewers, so kind of coming under my head. So, what I see here, exploring cooking, beautiful Barbados, promoting reviews, new videos every Sunday, deserve subscribe. Perfect. Only thing I would say is this is a little plain, maybe focusing on making this a little bit more standoutness. And what I mean by that is let me know like what's unique about your channel. As it is, this is just really plain. Obviously Barbados is a huge part of it, so that's that. I like how in your thumbnails I see you clear, so I recognize you. I would recognize you in the thumbnails. I see a few here which they make me a little concerned, because what I mean by this is when I transition over is, as we can see here, okay, I asked you Clashing by Havoc, you removed it, so I wasn't sure if you still wanted it. We'll add you to the queue. So free money, Lucky Day app. So when you're in it, it makes a lot of sense. But what happens when you're not, right? Are there any that where you're not in it? I don't think so. But while they aren't bad, okay, so this is a great example of it. When you're not in the thumbnail, there's nothing that lets me know this is your content. And that's kind of a problem. This looks too generic. When you're in it, it's like, oh, clearly. But that's something to consider, which goes back to maybe you could use the sun or something that is yours so I can easily tell it's your content. As it is, it's a little difficult for me to tell it's your content. Looking at your tag strategy, if we take a little bit of a deeper look, I'm seeing that that one's a little bit difficult. So my first ever channel shirt, right? So I'm definitely seeing some engagement. You have a really great, vibrant community. Like, look at this. This is a great example of someone who has a vibrant community. So, I see a vibrant community, but my problem is, hey, my treasures, bless up. Thank you for watching. If you're in Barbados and need to get a printout, check out. So this is great that you link this, but in terms of search, you get 500 tags. Again, use them. That'll help you make a audience outside of your current audience, which is not bad at all. I love seeing this level of engagement. That's fantastic. And it goes to show, it doesn't matter how many subscribers you have, as long as you have engagement. That's truly what YouTube cares about. And this, to me, I'd rather see a channel with 133 views with this level of engagement than a channel with 10,000 views and 1 comment. So, and that can happen. So I like to see, I see there's a clear community here. So what I would say is just focus on making your videos a little more searchable. Focus on making a little bit easier for me to see which videos are yours when you're not in the thumbnail. And overall, I'm going to give you a solid B-. This is a really, like, there's a clear community here. You have a decent thumbnail strategy. Of course, I think maybe a little bit more polish, a little bit changing to make it look a little bit better would work. But overall, it's very clear that you have a following that makes sense. And I think a B- isn't a bad grade, especially. But again, work on your tagging, work on those other things to bring it up. And again, the reason I gave you that grade is because you clearly have an audience and you clearly know how to treat your audience, but you're not going to be able to grow much larger if you don't change on these other things. So get something like TubeBuddy. You can use the link in the description to get TubeBuddy absolutely free. If you already have it, then perfect. Use all those tags you get. Use all these things. And again, the reason it was so high is based on that community aspect. I gave you a little bit skew on that because a lot of these channels don't have that luxury of that level of community. So keep in mind. So we're going to go ahead and do Clashing by Havoc now, which I'm assuming is a Clash of Clans YouTube channel, which, if I take a guess, yes. That's great. Last time I got an E. E for everyone. As we take here, CBH makes sense. The only thing I would say is very kind of bland, almost. Like, I'm taking a guess you stream frequently, right? I also don't see videos. So do you live stream? Are you a live stream channel? Which I see one video. Actually, I'm seeing a few videos. Maybe let me know when you stream here. Let me know what to expect in your streams. Because as it is, I just get a logo, but I don't know when you stream. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what new videos. It's a little plain, and I'd like to know a little bit more. And Tiffany, you're added to the queue. And Janelle's Mom Show, first of all, thank you so much. You are added to the queue. All super chats are always appreciated. Thank you. You will be added to the queue next. So if you ever want to know how I'm biased, if people pay me to get a channel review, of course, they're added more priority to the queue. Tiffany, I will get to you, and do not worry. And I saw another person asking for a channel review, which is Tamundu. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, so I'm probably going to butcher it, but you're both added to the queue. Do not worry. But thank you yet again so much for the super chat. Truly appreciate it. I see here weekly for both, but Clashing by Havoc, there's no way a new user is going to know that. So you have to put it here. Otherwise, I'm not going to know. Another thing is I notice you don't have a channel trailer, and I definitely recommend putting one so I can kind of get an idea of what your channel's about. As it is, I just see a stream of videos, and I have no reason to click on any of these as a user. So again, give me something that shows a bit of what your content's about. Maybe it's one of your shorter form videos that you have, such as this, or I think this is in a series maybe, because I see episode 13, so maybe the first episode. Give me an idea of what you're on about, because as it is, there's nothing that lets me easily get into your content. Next is, I would put, you have your live streams in a playlist, and I see I Play Your Deck, which I'm assuming is an episodic show. Yes, but you see, I don't see these easily on your homepage. So you need to add these playlists that you have here. And then you need to make sure you're accurately describing these playlists. You need to make sure you're letting me as a viewer know. Because as it is, I don't. I genuinely have no clue. Without asking you specifically, which isn't going to be everyone's, not everyone's going to have that luxury to ask you this. Andrew, I got to go. I sent the link. Maybe we can talk on Discord later. Absolutely, Bob THP. Thank you so much for stopping by. Andrew, thank you very much. I'm leaving work now. Please have a great night. And thank you again. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to take a look at your channel. Much improved. Good to see you back. Bob, happy to hear you learned a lot. So again, let me know a little bit more Clashing by Havoc. And you might have it in your about here, actually. I really enjoy playing well, here's the thing. You have it in your about, so I'll give you that. But unfortunately, most people, they see your home. If they like your home, then they kind of look at these other things. Most users rarely make it to this far, right? So I would say put some of this love and dedication that you put in your description here. Because as it is, I'm not seeing it there. I'm going to go ahead, and I'm seeing really good views here. Like, take a look at this. These views are good. So my thing is, I don't necessarily know as a user your schedule, and I don't know things like that. So I want to take a look at this one. 2 weeks ago, I want to see free tournament, Clash Royale, come say hi, right? So first of all, you need to be utilizing tags on YouTube. Past the live stream, you get to edit this. Without this, I have no idea. Then you need to make sure you're uploading a high-res thumbnail, info card, end screens, all these things. And you can do this through either OBS or whatever you're using to stream. There are ways to put like cards on YouTube, and it's something I'm still kind of trying to master here on YouTube myself. But there are all ways to do it. And if you get TubeBuddy, which again, a link is in the description, tubebuddy.com/can, you can see where people are sharing this. So far, it's only you, but there are other people who could easily be sharing this. And with TubeBuddy, you get to see who are talking about it. I'm seeing that there's some people in your stream. I want to go here. Look at this level of engagement. And I didn't even know you showed your face. So again, there's a lot that unless, like, I would have no idea of knowing as it is. So I'm seeing a decently successful community here. I'm seeing some live. I'm seeing good views. I'm going to give you... Again, I'm going to skew a little bit. Actually, no, I'll give you what I really think. I'm going to give you a C+. And I'm giving, again, I gave Behind Treasure a B- because she improved a lot from last time. So, Clash by Havoc, I have TubeBuddy. Perfect. Then use it. Use all the tags you're allotted, because all these live streams, come say hi. Come say hi. These aren't searchable. You should really say what you're doing in them. So free tournament, which I'm pretty sure is what you're doing. Say specifically what you're doing, so I, as someone who's searching for this kind of content, can easily find you. And I like that you're in your streams, but I would never have known that through these. Genuinely, unless I clicked and watched it a bit, there's no way I'd know. So that's something to keep in mind. So overall, I'm still standing by my grade. I like to see what you have going here. I like what I'm seeing. I think you have a great channel. Just keep that in mind, that you get these tags, you get all these things. And overall, I think you have a good channel. Just keep letting me know more. And I hope you understand. Of course, that is just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, either in the live stream or in the replay. I'm always curious to what you guys have to say. Going to be taking a look now at the Janelle's Mom show. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Me and names have a rough history on this channel, so... Here goes nothing. All right, so entertainment, comedy, and vlogging. Janelle's Mom production. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Awesome, thank you so much. I will improve all of that. Clashing with Havoc, I hope you do, and I hope to see you back. I love seeing people improving their channels, growing their channels. And of course, on this channel, I share my journeys, I share my vlogs, I share my experiences, and I help people grow. So I would love to see you back here. So, first thing I want to do is I'm going to take, I like this, but you're in the thumbnail. Why aren't you in your banner, right? I want to see a little bit more of you in your actual banner. And also, I want to know a little bit more. I see entertainment, comedy, and vlogging. When can I expect these videos? Is it monthly? Is it when you have an opportunity? If, again, you don't have to commit to a schedule, but let me know a little bit more, just so I get an idea. Because if you're vlogging, then who can I expect to see in the vlog? All of these are questions I have, which are something to consider. Another thing to consider is make sure that you have a channel trailer. I don't see one here, right? So by not having that channel trailer, I don't know what content I should be looking at to easily know what you're doing. So I see my mom and dad come in the channel every week. Well, that's perfect. Also, am I pronouncing your name right? I hope I am. I apologize if I'm butchering it. So just keep that in mind. I would like to see a channel trailer, and this is something where you can easily describe. A lot of times people can write and about. So first of all, you should, in your description, make sure you say my channel name and then describe it. That way when I type in your channel name, I have a higher chance of seeing you. Wish I could stay. I love your live streams. Thanks again. Smash the like, everyone. See you later. Cricket, thank you so much. Why haven't I done this sooner? You're always here, and you're always... Just made you a mod. You're always really good. Thank you so much for always being supportive of the streams. Really do appreciate that. Yes, it's Janelle. So I'm doing it correct. I'm taking that as what it is. So another thing is I see playlists. My videos, it's good that you have a playlist here, but maybe make some playlists. Like I see you have some, you do a top 5 gamers. Well, maybe you focus more on that. I see some puppets. Maybe you can make a playlist all about that. Again, make playlists based on the content you're doing. Hello, Doing It with Jason. Hope you're doing well. Again, I would say make playlists. If you ever watch Netflix or any of those big streaming services, they always have content in a playlist where you can easily watch the next video over and over. Do you have that for your own channel? Currently, I can't really say you do. The next one I want to look at is vlogging with Janelle at Best Buy. Okay. So definitely... Another thing, you need to make sure that whatever you title, you put in your description. You need to describe your videos. You need to have tags. You need to have all of these things because all of these things matter for the search engine right here. So when people type in, Best Buy vlogs, which is most likely what people are going to search for to find this, they can see you showing up. But as it is, you haven't told YouTube what this video is about. You haven't put in tags. So ultimately, there's nothing YouTube knows how to index this as. So in the end of the day, they're just not going to make it perform. And it's not saying it's bad. I'm definitely seeing some comments here, but YouTube doesn't know what to classify this video as because you haven't told it. So ultimately, you really just need to make sure you're doing some YouTube basics. And I have a video about it on my channel about how to use TubeBuddy. If you're not using TubeBuddy, I highly recommend it. Definitely a good product to be using. Again, I work for it, so I am completely biased. Going to let you know that transparently. So overall, really like the idea here. I just need to see more tags, more descriptions, more playlists, an actual channel trailer. I'm going to give you a C because I think your channel has some decent stuff here. I think that it's hard to give these channels that don't have that much. The only time you get an F is if you don't have uploads or if you have just put in the absolutely bare minimum work. But I think there's a lot you can work on. And again, focus on all of those things. Use TubeBuddy. Make sure you're doing all of these things because you can make your videos more discoverable, more searchable. Because the truth is, as it is now, you haven't told YouTube what it should be focusing on. So keep that in mind. We have, so far, I am going to go ahead and take a look at the next person in the queue. After this is Tiffany Von Gravely. I love TubeBuddy. I don't imagine what I could have done without all the TubeBuddy tools. Thank you so much, Cooking Couture channel. I do appreciate that. We are going to be taking a look at, oh god, I'm going to butcher another channel name. Tamandua Girl? Life with Exotic Animals. First of all, love the art. I think it looks good. It's simple. Nothing too fancy, but it's more than most. Life with Exotic Animals. So I would take a guess, maybe a zookeeper, you have access to this. I don't know. That's a detail you could maybe consider putting here, how you have, these exotic animals, or maybe like caring for exotic animals for blank many years, or let me know something about this. But God, I really love, and then it looks like, I'm seeing these fox, I'm seeing this. It seems like it's all content around this. And I see Payu gets ants in a glass. Fantastic. Really cool niche. I agree with Doing It with Jason here. Very cool niche. Or niche, whatever you go for. And I definitely see you have some popular videos. So what I'm going to be focusing on for you is I see you re-uploaded again more recently, right? Oh, actually, I see that I don't know your actual schedule. Let's take a look at your videos. I had to pick up the kid. I'm back. Welcome back, Creator Fundamentals. Happy to have you back. The Cookie for channel. Take a look at my channel, added to the queue. So, okay, you are more active. So my first bit is maybe say, I see your best stuff. Also put your recent so I can tell you're uploading. And again, I don't see a channel trailer. And if I had a channel trailer that explained everything, that'd be the perfect thing for this channel. Because as it is, there's no channel trailer. So I think it's a cool channel, but I don't have anything to know, right? And another thing is, since you have these animals, post photos of the actual live animals with this. Let it accent. So let this be your mobile banner, but maybe put the real animals here to the side. Again, give me an extra value here. Always love that extra value for being on, desktop. I want to take a look at this one. That's a little older, but I want to take a look at your tag strategy. So again, Phoenix Fox Facts, Phoenix Fox is pets. This is another example of when this, and again, I hope everyone watching understands. This isn't a unique situation. So many people are guilty of it. Whatever you title your video, honor it through in your description, honor it through in your tags, and it will rank when you do that. And I've seen this so many times today on these channels, and I'm getting pumped because it's true. When you honor in on what you call the video, when you tag to honor what you call the video, you do well. We saw it with Dan. We saw it with so many different channels today. And it is exciting to see these channels rank here. Keep going. I see that this video has some ranking tags, but let's go back. The tags that rank, hone back to what the title is. I would say here for your description, make sure that you say, here I give you Fennec, I'm probably just butchering everything here. I would say make sure that you're honing back to what you call your title. So say, here I give you Fennec Fox Facts, positive and or pros and cons, and then, because again, you say I give you some positives and negatives about having as a pet, which isn't bad. I would say I give you some pros and cons, kind of going back to what you call it here, owning back to it, and then Fennec, and then again, just keeping it more true to what you have here. But again, clearly your videos do well. You have views, you have a decent amount of subscribers. But again, as a viewer, it's a little, there's the branding. I love seeing this, but maybe having a TG and like this kind of font, or even in a wild, like an exotic looking way, would be great, easily recognizable branding. So overall, I clearly see that you have some very successful videos. Your view counts definitely show that. So my thing is, not bad at all. Focus a little bit more on, your tag strategy, your descriptions. I'm going to give you a B. I think you clearly have some good video views. You clearly understand YouTube to a certain extent, or you've been pretty lucky in how the algorithm served you, but ultimately you have content, which means you can be an authority here. I really like your branding, but make sure you follow through on that. You had tags, you had a decent description, and again, it's not bad, it's just different ways. And I think Selena Plays actually earlier asked me for a review, if I'm not too crazy. And I might be crazy, but the next person to take a look at is Tiffany Von Gravely, who asked me to look at her most recent upload, which I believe I've already watched, and I already have an opinion. So, is that correct, Tiffany? You wanted me to take a look at your most recent upload. All right. How do I pronounce your name? I'm just going to say T Girl for the time being, because I am sure I'm butchering it. So how do I pronounce your name? Could you type it out for me? I'd be really appreciative. Also, please let me know what you would grade that channel in the comments or in the live stream. I'm always curious to what other people think and why. I always love hearing it. So Tiffany says, yes, please. All right, Tiffany. So first of all, and I noticed this, where are your pinned comments? And I do have to fully disclose, I work with Tiffany usually on her channel every now and then. She doesn't pay me, but I'm friends with Tiffany. I want to see her succeed. Just wanted to say that clearly. Tiffany has a great channel, completely biased. That said, let's take a look at this channel. So, why fans scream? Have you ever wondered why fans scream and chase people down? Perfect. Owns back here. Take a look here. Why fans scream? Why fangirls scream? Why fans scream at celebrities? So again, this is an example of why fans scream. You're ranking here. Why fans scream at celebrities? Well, I don't see that mentioned. Celebrities mentioned here. So when it's trying to pull, like again, why fans scream isn't bad. And I see why fans scream here. The algorithm's a little like this is more information. So why do fans scream, right? Have you ever wondered why do fans scream? Again, it's the first 200 characters that YouTube's going to be taking a look at here. So these aren't wrong. Also, this is such a new video that it's going to fluctuate on the actual ranking. So it's hard for me to give you much here. After, I would say the best time to review if a video did well for you is after 30 days. And I know a lot of people disagree, but yes. Okay. Tam and Dua, like duobar with like duo bar with a instead at the end. Okay, like duobar. Tam and Dua. Is that correct? Tam and Dua? Hopefully pronouncing that correct. Recent uploads, I'm a little confused by. That one's a little confusing. But again, I think that the title might be the problem here. If I were to take any guess, I would say check the title because I watched the video. It's not bad at all. But keep that in mind. Also, where's the engagement in your comments? Man, it's been 2 days. You just hate me, Tiff? I see how it is. Oh, to auto add to the playlist. Makes sense. Well, I would still, if you're going to go with that, I would say Tiffany Von Gravely recent uploads. Keep that in mind. So, Tiff says she didn't get notified for it. Oh, well. Sorry. Overall, though, I think maybe take a look at what your title is because you are ranking for it. But again, you told it some extra tag stuff here. So it's a little lost overall, but not bad. So you just asked me to review this, so kind of what I did. And then next is the Cookie Board channel. I'm going to take a look at this now. All right, liking what I see. First off, love this graphic, and I like how I can see it. Keep in mind the timestamp. Timestamp's kind of cutting it off, so maybe consider that in the future because it like here completely covers it. But I love this where flavor and design collide. Only problem is I can my eyes are kind of struggling to read this. I do like the idea of it, maybe like how you have on the photo here of yourself, I'm assuming. Maybe put a backdrop so it's a little clearer to read. I also like the social medias, but it's kind of redundant since they're over here. Maybe if you actually put slash in your name so I could see what they are, assuming that they aren't the Cookie Couture channel, obviously. So keep that in mind. Overall, I really think it's a pretty cute banner. It looks pretty good and makes a lot of sense for what you're trying to accomplish. So I do one channel at a time. I'll add you to the queue though. Fro Stick. Pretty sure they pronounce that. If you haven't picked up, I'm not necessarily the best at channel names. So ideas for graduation parties, ideas to make ballerina cookies, ideas for okay, so we have a clear theme here. So my thing is I see all these ideas videos. So maybe you make a playlist and you feature it here, and you also need to make a channel trailer because as it is, I need to know what your channel is about. Yes, I see the Cookie Couture, but what does that mean? That's where a channel trailer can really come in and help me with it. And then you can make playlists, right? So you can be like baking ideas for, or you can make a playlist called baking ideas for, or great baking ideas for anyone, or something like that. Make a playlist that's searchable, and you can feature these. That way I know as a user what you want me to look at, because as it is, I'm not sure what I should watch. And there's a lot of content. And as a new user, if I just threw you in and told you, all right, watch something, that's a lot to try to navigate. So think of how a user would be looking at this. That's why Netflix gives us different, one video or the first episode of the series or first episode of the season, and then we can base our opinion on that. So keep that in mind. I'm going to take a look at your videos. I'm going to do ideas for royal weddings, which is kind of a smart idea that you used a tentpole event to do well on. Ideas for royal wedding cookies. The Cookie Couture cordially invites you to see different ideas how to make a mini royal wedding cookies. Perfect. I see clear understanding of tags. You're ranking for it. So let's look at here, right? How to make bridal shower decorated cookies, bride and groom decorated cookies. Anytime I notice people stray from what their title and they describe it as, that's when they start not necessarily doing well. An exception is ideas for bridal shower cookies, right? So you still kept with the ideas theme, but the ones where you kind of lose it is when you don't necessarily do as well. And we can see it here too. A different idea is royal wedding cookies, which is something that's in your title and your description. So anytime you keep with what you have in your title and your description, you kind of tend to rank for it. But when you don't, not so much. And again, ideas for royal wedding cookie, I'm pretty sure ideas for royal wedding cookies, like just if you add an S, I'm pretty sure that's another way you could rank for it. And I'm not seeing that exact phrase. So before I say you don't have it, ideas for royal wedding cookie. Yeah, you don't have cookies with an S, and that's a simple tag you can add. And yes, there is a slight difference, right? So cookies. Difference, you're ranked number 1, and there's a difference in search results. So again, adding that S really did make a difference, and I'm pretty sure you do rank number 1 for it. So just make sure you add it. I also see that you say I'm working on my channel trailer. Thing is I don't know that, and cookies with an S, yes. But you see, I don't know that. When I come to your channel, I don't know that you're working on a channel trailer. So again, maybe you post an upload you feel at the time, or a popular one. I maybe would recommend the idea for royal wedding cookies. I would put that as your channel trailer until you have your channel trailer, at least so I know what you want me to look at as it is. Overall, I think you have a really good channel. I think it's really cool. I like the idea. Just let me know a little bit more about it. I'm pretty sure, yes. Also, I'm assuming, but is your channel bilingual? Because again, I see the Spanish here, and then I see, at least I believe that's Spanish. I'm probably wrong and ignorant, and my apologies. And then I see the English here. So if you're bilingual, that's something you should definitely put here. That's cool. That makes you stand out. So again, keep that in mind. Overall, I really like what I see here. It's a little messy. Well, I mean, cooking and baking can be a little messy, so I'll forgive you. I'm going to give your channel a B+. I see a very clear understanding of tagging. I see scribing. I see really good art. The only thing I say, channel trailer. Let me see some playlists, things like that. I started in Spanish and then doing both. I've been putting off doing a channel trailer. I'll have to make that a reality. I like the TG idea for branding as well. Would be a good icon. Definitely. I love your channel idea. I think it's fantastic. I love the idea of exotic animals. And I love seeing so many different channel types. That's one of the beauty I get of reviewing channels. So now I'm going to look at this channel, which I'm going to butcher the name. You're killing me, everyone, on these hard channel names. But again, I get it. People call me Khan all the time, and it's Can, so struggles. All right. I'm pretty sure this is Rostick. Rostick? Hopefully. And the first thing is I don't really Rostick. Bro sticks. Makes sense. I want something in your channel banner. This is just kind of generic, so give me something more specific. I see what appears to be maybe, not sure what that is, but I would like to see maybe that here. Maybe give me what you do here. I cannot hear you very well. Can you hear me better now, or did that change, or has that just kind of been a thing throughout the stream? Again, I haven't seen anyone else say anything, so if it's been a thing throughout the stream, I do apologize, but it's not been brought up to my attention. Frostix. Okay, makes sense. So again, maybe you could even put how to pronounce it up here. I genuinely have no idea what your channel is about. So I can see here, but I didn't know you live streamed. That's something you could put up here. I see Minecraft. I would have, or actually it was Minecraft, but I would never know. Again, these are things that, let me know what you do. Like, it's clearly gaming, so maybe gaming every blank or something like that. Let me know. I have no idea. Also, I didn't change anything, so I'm going to assume YouTube had an issue. I'm so sorry about that. I changed nothing. So happy to hear it fixed itself, though. So I like how you have a channel trailer. Tragic End, 100%. An Amazing Level by Felix, or Fee3lix. So I'll take a look at this since you have it here. So this is Geometry Dash. Didn't know that, but you get 500 characters. Again, you'll hear the similar ideas here. So you get 500 characters for tags. Fill them up. Make sure that you should say Tragic End, an amazing level made by, again, on or back to your title. You have some comments, which isn't bad. You have 71 subscribers and you have 45 views. That's almost all your subs. So again, I would need to see a little bit more on the tag side, a little bit more on the description side, a little bit more on your channel art. I see a wide variety of content. I just don't know what you're doing. I looked on how to do that later. Use some random ones. So you always need to go in, and this is a good example. This is a decent sized video. First of all, get rid of one-word tags. The odds of someone typing an 18+ and finding your video are so low. In fact, I can show you using TubeBuddy. Get TubeBuddy in the link in the description. 458 million searches for this. The odds of you ranking for that are slim to none. So you should really be focusing on this. New map, Regenesis Arcade Deluxe VR, #1. The things you should always tag are your channel name, your video title, and then things related to your title that you put in your description and then in your tags. You have some decent views here, but it's not going to do farther than that. TubeBuddy is on the mobile store. It is also on desktop. So I don't know why Bob THP, but I'll give you the link here. TubeBuddy.com/mobile for the mobile app. There you go. But again, you're doing well view-wise here, and it's clear people liked it. There's just nothing here. And I do see your channel name. I will not disregard that. But again, PewDiePie is irrelevant to this video unless he's actually in this. And putting irrelevant tags is against YouTube's terms of service. So let's go here. YouTube metadata. We're going to quickly... Oh, wrong place. Excuse me, everyone. Need to die a little, apparently. YouTube metadata. Irrelevant. It's something like this. Oh, right here. Okay, so you told PewDiePie to do it. Okay, that's fair then. I would probably say challenging PewDiePie 2 or something like that, because the reason is right here. Please select a reasonable number of tags. Mostly collect your video. Please also add tags to the tags. Do not add. So it says don't add to your description, only to your tag section. Adding additional tags to your description or of your video may constitute spam and can result in removal of your channel. This also goes for misleading tags. So make sure everything you're doing is within YouTube's terms of service. I would just be a little more specific on that tag. Otherwise, if someone said, well, PewDiePie is not really in the video, you could say I mentioned him, but then it's up to YouTube's favor, and I never want to be in that kind of situation. So just being honest with you. Okay, found this. How does the events thing work? You put in the link. YouTube, again, terms of service. it's not clickbait, it's considered misleading. So no, misleading metadata and clickbait could fall under that if it doesn't actually do. So there's clickbait, and there's something that Brian G. Johnson, another YouTube expert, calls, which is positive clickbait, which it baits you in with the idea, but it actually gives you. And in fact, this is a good example of positive clickbait. So I'll use my channel as an example, because if I'm going to teach, I'll teach with what I know. I made a film called Paying Back My Ex. Around Valentine's Day, this film blew up. And the reason it blew up is people were scornful. They were wanting to get revenge on their ex. But this film is about literally giving my ex money I owed her back. So it's clickbait in the fact that paying back my ex, some people are looking for revenge. But in reality, it's not, because I legitimately paid back my ex money. So that's an example of positive clickbait. People going in expecting the worst, they get a different result, and then they come out happy. So that's an example of clickbait that's more positive. And it's not even really clickbait as much as it is they had one expectation and I kind of subverted it. Get more views by being searchable. Focus on searchable terms, focusing on titling, tagging, and describing your videos on what they actually are. I have a lot of videos on TubeBuddy. I have a lot of videos here on how to make your videos searchable. But the truth is, you aren't describing them well. You're not tagging them well. And the title is okay, but could use a lot of work. Those three things are what cause you to be discovered in search. How do you find new YouTubers? How did you find any YouTuber on this platform? Search in the homepage. You can be searchable and you can be discoverable by working on those things. Overall, I'm going to go back to your channel because I want to go ahead and give you a grade. So going back, I'm going to give you a C-. There's a lot I see here that needs to be, I didn't mean a pun, but there's a lot here and it's not bad. Just needs a little bit more idea. So Bob THP asks, how do you come up with original banner and icon? Bro, you pass. That's a C is passing to me, and C's get degrees. That's what I told myself in college. Trust me. I didn't actually get that many C's on a side note, but it is true. Overall, not bad at all. And I think there's improvement. Again, an F is failing. A D needs a lot of work. C's not bad, but it's not great either. And remember that. Remember how you feel and work towards these things. Work on making sure you're improving in all these ways. Doug Houston YT says creativity. Agreed. So I don't see anyone else. I punish myself if I get under 85% in school. Bob THP, yes, I am using OBS. I understand that. To me, anything below a 90 was failing, which is why I, again, use self-deprecating humor to make myself feel better about all those C's and getting degrees. But the truth is you have something to work on, and this isn't a final grade. Think of it as a progress report. And I do live streams frequently. If you improve these things, I'll gladly review your channel again. But you need to know what people are looking for. And again, your channel's not bad, but focus on those things. I have the video on my channel on how to use TubeBuddy and how you can use it to be more searchable. I'll probably be working very soon on the TubeBuddy channel or here on a complete series on how to make a video start to finish searchable. It's something I've been been working on it. Have I watched Cobra Kai? Absolutely. Cobra Kai is awesome. Can't wait for season 2. Not going to spoil anything. Watch it on YouTube Premium if you haven't. The first 2 episodes are free. The Cookie Couture channel says, Andrew, can you tell a little bit more about the playlist, please? Absolutely. So, playlists are like on Netflix. When you watch a playlist on... Love this channel. I got to go, though. Thank you for reviewing my video. Thank you for the opportunity to review your channel. Greatly appreciate it, genuinely. Love Cobra Kai. Who doesn't? So, basically, playlists like on Netflix are a way where people can easily view and digest your channel content. I'll show you using my channel. Again, the reason I'm using my channel is it's just an easy example. Bob THP asks, do you have a podcast? I do not, but I've been asked that before, so it might be something I consider. I don't know. I don't know if I have a voice for podcasting, but I'm sure you guys can let me know. So if we look at my channel, you can see I have a clear playlist that describes my short films here, right? So you can see Andrew Can shows his directing and filmmaking capabilities with his unique perspective on the short film medium. These short films range from travel, motivation, and fun. So again, you immediately see a list of videos that let you see all of my films on this channel easily. And if I click on one of them, it drags people in to this view where they can see all of my playlists and all my videos in quick succession. So again, you take that control back from the algorithm. Instead of, doing something, instead of them clicking another video, you tell them what video to watch next, and that is powerful. So that's why you should be doing playlists, the Cookie Couture, because if you do like a playlist on cooking or cookie ideas, well, people looking for cookie ideas now have a complete playlist of different cookie ideas. And if they're like, oh man, this playlist is this cookie idea is too hard, and that's more content. Think about it. Cookie ideas for beginners, cookie ideas for experts, cookie ideas for intermediate people. Just more content, more playlist ideas, more opportunities for you as a creative to come up with cool things for an audience. You are serving what they're looking for. So create the content people are searching for. You can also make it a series playlist. Absolutely. Great point, Bob THP. If we go back, there is a way to make this a series playlist. And the difference between a series playlist, and I'll let YouTube describe it. All you have to do is go create, and I'll show you how to create a new playlist here if you really want. But if you look here, this is my playlist. You go to playlist setting, an official series playlist. Use this setting for sets of videos uploaded to your channel as a part of an official series. A video cannot appear in more than one series playlist. YouTube may use this information to modify how the videos are presented or discovered. What that basically means is that if you put them in a series playlist, you are telling YouTube that all the videos in this playlist are related to one another, and it is an opportunity for YouTube to display these videos in your suggest on the side as well as other places. Again, they may not have clicked through the playlist, but if this is a part of an official series playlist, YouTube will show that content because you're telling YouTube it's important to display. People are always like, YouTube doesn't help me. Are you helping yourself? Are you making sure that you are not leading anything up to the algorithm? Are you taking control in what they give you? And ignorance is not a reason to not take control. You have the internet. We have the ability to learn. And I always want people to be learning and growing because I'm learning and growing. Many people learn and grow. And with that, that's going to be it for this live stream. Let me know your thoughts on all the YouTube changes we discussed earlier. If you want a channel review, I am live every other Thursday. I do my best. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you all so much for your time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. I'm Andrew Can, and remember, if I can, you can too.